Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming. I'm Phoenix, I'm the composer of this piece. And I wanted to start by saying a massive thank you, first of all to our fabulous conductor, Rory, Rowan, Lark, our wonderful singer, and for this lovely ensemble that have really put their heart and soul into bringing my most personal work to date with so much life. I wasn't actually planning on speaking tonight, but a few things have changed. Yesterday I found out some sad news that a dear friend of mine had just passed away. And she was called Fee. She was a wonderful person. She was always the life of the party. She was always so full of life, and everyone really loved her. So I just wanted to say that this performance is in loving memory of Fee. Fee.
I am sadistic squealing, piggy screeching, scare you shiver. Fluids trickling down my flesh into your florid flower chamber, blooming tender. Fluids trickling down my flesh and into your florid flower chamber, blooming tender. Red meat is most indulgent when it's fresh. My pleasure, my shame, but they are one, but they are. Add atop a healthy amount of sin and guilt for bitterness. The sins of my flesh, I can't deny, I can't deny. And some vulnerability for spice. This timeless stickiness. Leave to sit for 1,000,000 years, to wallow and infuse with centuries of violence, unfairness, and fear. It's done when it's ready to explode with pent-up anger. It's done when people decide it's disgusting. It's done when Twitter says so. It's done when at least 50% of the world's population has cancelled it. It's done when it's fucked by a celebrity. It's done when it has been traumatized to the point of disassociation, acts poorly once because of this, and people feel the need to persecute and punish it. It's like a constant fucking witch trial. Slap it under a guillotine, behead it, and eat it! You might as well! It's done! This time is burning bright. With terrifying objectivity. Their marble mouths. Gnawing at my face. Pulling apart my past. Nowhere to hide. Paranoia. Inducing. Good morning, Mr. Magpie. Like a cold furnace. Ripping up my insides. Too big for my gut. Should I repent for my sodomy? My impulse. Should I live apologetically? These thoughts came to mind after my vision of angels. No tragedy this time, only perfection. we can't soothe our throats with. What did I see in my vision of angels?
on quite a piece. And look, here's our panel appearing. Hi, Phoenix. We got Rory and Rowan there. I think Anna or Leo have to ask them to put their video on. Anyway, here we go. Filling up and one more to go. I want to ask you, I mean, just say to the audience once more, type, hello, brava. For the audience, just type question in big letters and then your question, and I will relay it to the panel. But I'd like to ask you quite a prosaic question to start with, which is, how did the three of you meet?
Do you want to go, Phoenix?
I mean, I met Rory in at Conservatoire, RNCM, and Rory had conducted a piece of mine at the time and did a very good job. So when I wrote this, I was like, who am I gonna get? With Rowan, actually, we met. So the band I was playing in at the time was supporting Rowan's like a live gig that Rowan was doing with her original music, and she said something about witches. So then I went up to her and we both kind of talked about witchy stuff. And yeah, and basically the first time I saw her like stage presence that she had, I was like, I need to write this piece for Rowan's voice.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing kind of different voice to hear with an ensemble like that. Let me ask you, Rowan, where are you usually? Rowan, sorry, I keep doing that.
No, the Rowans and Scottish, it's nice. Where am I usually? Well, functions, I guess. So pop music, you know, trying to be Whitney Houston. But my thing has always been stories, and I'm a writer and a filmmaker and all that jazz. And this piece is the first piece I've ever been able, I felt, to express stories in the way I want to with music. And I felt like Phoenix just met me and just instantly understood that that's what I wanted to do with my voice. So this has been the honor of my life, honestly, to be able to do this piece, because it has opened up a part of myself that was quite dormant for a long time. So I'm really grateful.
Oh, so it's like harmony at first hearing, I suppose. But it's like your voice doesn't sound like the thing one would expect to go with an ensemble like that. And yet the music, though I have to say I've heard it maybe 6 times, and it really sticks in the ear. And it doesn't, like, you don't repeat, you remember phrases you just heard once. It is extraordinarily kind of lives with you. But anyway, my rather convoluted question is, it sounds quite challenging musically, technically, as well as kind of emotionally. And what gave you the equipment to deliver that? Or is it really easy?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What gave me the equipment? Trauma gave me the equipment. Phoenix and I have a beautiful sharing of trauma. Different in many ways, but also we grew up with quite difficult circumstances, and I think that really, really helped. I think the piece has this, and I mean this in the best way possible, this kind of campy drama that that I had a lot of access to. And I guess preparing, like I trained as an actor, but that was a long time ago. And I suppose being safe is probably the thing that makes me feel the most prepared. I don't think I could have done this piece of work with a different ensemble or a different composer or conductor. Standing there alone as a pop vocalist who doesn't really read sheet music in front of an ensemble of incredibly qualified people is terrifying. And having people guiding me and making me feel safe in that way allowed me to be open and vulnerable. And then I guess not being worried to like scream and sound ugly is probably the last thing.
That's really what I was getting at, where you sort of getting 1, 2, 3, C sharp minor.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what C sharp minor is. I'm not going to lie to you.
I don't think any singer would do what I've just done, because I don't know what I'm talking about either. Well, Rory, how was it for you to prepare all this? I want to the normal and really boring question is how long did you have? But I don't really. What I really want to ask is what was the process? Because this isn't just walking in a room and walloping it out in a couple of hours and then doing a show.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but before that, I mean, that really is the first time that I've really properly, with a comparative degree of passivity, been able to see what Rowan was fully doing in that piece. And I mean, going back to the rehearsals and feeling safe like this, and you know, she said a couple of things. You know, she doesn't really, what she said. What did you say? You said she doesn't really read sheet music, and this piece is hard. And for her, and we were just, I don't know if anyone, we watched that entire thing, and not a word came out in a way that didn't feel intended. And didn't feel full of whatever she had found behind that text. So it feels quite weird to now be speaking after that. In terms of the rehearsal, I mean, you know, some people, a few of the guys in the ensemble we already knew a little bit, and a couple of them said to me, why do we have so long when it's 45 minutes long? We didn't have a ridiculous time at all. We could have had twice as long, which is what I told them. But it's amazingly hard to go into a piece of music like this that has such a kind of serious subject matter, and then look at the music that's behind it and realize that actually the best way that we're going to be able to help this to speak in any way is to firstly just pull it apart. And so we had to do quite a bit of that in the first place. And credit to the ensemble, because genuinely, you know, we've all played in lots of ensembles, and that kind of rehearsing can be very tiring. But with this piece, and credit to Phoenix really, I think a lot of us in the ensemble have done a disproportionate amount really of new music, of brand new music, from studying and from you know, what we're all now doing in careers. And genuinely, I think I've never seen any ensemble realize how great a piece is so quickly as I have with this piece and this ensemble. It's just really strange going into a room, and after the first play, everyone just being completely behind, completely obsessed and committed to what the piece is doing, because there's a lot in there that yeah, I think is quite universal.
Yes. I think that really shone through to the audience. You very, very seldom, you can tell, and you very seldom see players that committed. That you might see the you know, acting performers hurl themselves into it. It's very rare to see the players so ingrained or involved in the narrative of what they're delivering, and they really were. It was very obvious that. A question in the chat which circles us right back to Phoenix in the beginning of the work from Grace Juliet. Can you tell us about the development of the text? Did it come first, or did it develop alongside the music?
Interesting. It developed alongside of the music, most of it. It depends. It was kind of movement by movement, but it was mainly with the music. And I think that's the way I kind of do text. I'm not really a writer. If you asked me to write you a poem or something, I probably couldn't. But lyrics, I feel, is a bit different. The process is kind of weird, and it's not very refined, to be honest. My lyric writing process. I play things and words come out, and I guess that's that. So, and then I tend to actually find the meaning in the words, like kind of after I've written them. I kind of let them come out, and I kind of realize that in whatever state, like kind of trancey state I was in when I was writing these lyrics, I understand afterwards what they mean, in some way. Yeah.
But I had the sense of quite a lot of influences coming into the words from other sources. Am I right? What were they?
In terms of music or just the text?
The text.
I mean, a lot of it is, I mean, I can't lie, a lot of it was Björk and the kind of lyrics that she writes, and the way that she also places lyrics that sometimes can be a bit disjointed, a bit weird, cutting words in the middle and then continuing them after a rest or something. So definitely Björk. I had read a little bit of like, I don't read a lot of poetry, to be honest, but I had read a bit of Rilke, and that was like the angels movement was based on his depiction of angels, just because they were so like creepy the way that he was writing about them. And then I guess, yeah, I don't know what else I'd say is a specific influence in terms of, Shoo Shoo, the band Shoo Shoo, written Xiu. That's one of my main, I'd say, lyrical, especially influences.
Oh, it's great! You're offering us a playlist. When you said that, or the music, so one has to ask, what about the music?
Oh, the music. The music is a bit of everything, I guess. Again, a lot of Björk. Again, I think definitely Schnitke. I have a weird fascination with Schnitke and the way that he does things. Then people like Linda Catlin Smith, Oliver Leith. I mean, I could say some really kind of basic ones. I could say Stravinsky as well, obviously, in terms of orchestration. What else?
It's all interesting.
Yeah.
I would say as well. Sorry, you go, Phoenix.
No, just actually the oboist that came in on the day, because we didn't have an oboist until last minute, told me that it reminded her of Bluebeard's Castle, and that was actually one of the main things I was listening to, as well, by Bartók.
That's weird, and we had it a couple of nights before in an adaptation in the festival. That is really weird, isn't it? Rowan, you were going to say?
No, I didn't want to miss the opportunity as well to talk about Phoenix's incredible process, because and I feel like it ties into influences, but Phoenix brought me on very, very early on. She was doing her master's still and writing the piece, and I remember we went into a studio, someone's office in our NCM, and she sat me down and she walked me through the piece as it was being written, because it was really important to her that that the performance was consensual. So and the I couldn't get my head around how you would create a consensual process when I'm not the one writing the piece, but Phoenix really brought me into the writing and asked me to create a character with them, or to think of inspiration for one of the characters, and I thought that was incredible. I think music as a performer can often be so you are like a vessel for somebody else's words, and when words are this deep and this loaded, it was amazing to be able to have a bit of input and to feel like I was cared for in that way. So just a note for future writings, be
But I think you're so right, Rowan. We keep doing projects with composers in like Plymouth University or the Royal College of Music, where they just write soprano, and you don't get that in a normal opera house. It will say on the top of the line Violetta or Mimi or something, because it's the character you're being, not a kind of jukebox. But there is something, you're so right about the potency of bespoke writing. Couple more questions. popping into the chat. 3 more questions. Whoa. Anytime soon, can we hear the whole opera again somewhere online or live? Well, you can see what we've just watched. It'll pop up on our website. But anywhere else, who's got the answer to that? And a question I was going to ask is, will it have you plans to alter or develop it in any way?
Yes. So we're going to be doing another Manchester performance. It is now, I mean, not confirmed in terms of date, but confirmed in terms of we have the resources to do it. And it will probably be January or February, somewhere around there. Yeah, and online, as Bill said, it will be online.
Brilliant, brilliant. Jeanette says, oh dear, sorry, Jeanette Gesto, I think. Oh, sorry if I said it wrong. Will you do more collabs with each other and make more stuff like this? Lots of love, XXX.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're an amazing team.
I love these guys. They're so funny.
Rowan actually just messaged me today, didn't you? With an idea for the next day.
Not really, just
That's such good news.
I'll keep it interested, you know.
I'm just going to share with the audience before I do the next question. I could not believe, Rowan, how in the rehearsals you were as immersed in the performance as you were in the performance. Yet when it stopped and you kind of go, oh, do you want a cup of tea or something? You go, oh, yes, that'd be lovely. I offered you a cup of tea, but you have this incredible facility to switch back into it. Anyway, Tamsin Trenton Jones, who, as she bounces up my screen, question for Phoenix. This really works as a monodrama and Rowan holds the space amazingly, but were you ever tempted to introduce other voices?
I had a dream a few days before the performance that there were more voices, and I did not like it. That we were performing the piece, and I was like, oh no. No, I think I need this to be a monodrama. Honestly, I feel like it feels, even though Persephone, like in the narrative that we've made, is like she meets a lot of different characters and Rowan embodies them all. I still want to show that they are still her in some ways, they're all parts of herself. And I think, and I also really like the intimacy of a monodrama somehow. Yeah, and I think that also ties back to what Rowan was doing. And what you said before about Rowan, Bill, was absolutely accurate. Like, she is amazing at that. She can just get into it straight away. I remember the first rehearsal we had a few years ago when we did just the first movement, and I was just like playing a reduction on the piano, and Rona was doing stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I was like really kind of shocked by what she was doing. And I feel like every time she's doing something different, and that's kind of amazing. Like, you really don't know what she's going to do. It really keeps you on your toes in the best way possible, and it shows that actually she's in the character. It doesn't have to be a stage thing,
and in the moment as well. Yeah, because that's what I was noticing as we were watching that as well. Some of it was genuinely completely different, but in the best possible way from how we had heard it before that performance.
Rory, did that then affect how you had to conduct? That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question. A lot of this was actually like in the rehearsals, which I was going to talk about a second ago, was that in the rehearsals, what was amazing about it is that, occasionally Rowan would be so much in some kind of element, don't know whether it was hers or someone else's, that we did lose each other completely, and depending on what was going on in the ensemble, because there's so much in that, and there's also so much not in that, which I think is why this ensemble and the orchestration as a whole works amazingly well. But yeah, that we lost each other, and we just thought, let's see where this goes, and without fail, Rowan would either do something differently herself, or she would just go a bit more into the character, and then soon enough something new and amazing would come out. And that's, again, you know, what she's doing all the way through that performance is just finding new things. So that's how you deal with it. You trust Rowan.
Oh,
Oh, that's so exciting. Another question from the chat, Andy Mellor. What specifically drew you to the stories of Persephone when writing this work? And how did you feel it influenced the decisions you during the creative writing process? I think you get the gist of that. Did that develop as you wrote the music, or did that come before?
The Persephone part, I think, came before. It was a long time since I started writing this, so I'm pretty sure the Persephone thing did come before. Because do you remember, Rowan, I had some other sketches that I had some movements that haven't been included that got the cut. There's like some missing scenes. So I was kind of exploring that idea overall. I think I was feeling very down and very sorry for myself. So I really did see myself like Persephone going down to the underworld, which I know is very dramatic, but oh well, at least it makes good art, you know.
Oh, yes. I mean, you said something, Phoenix, so powerful. I mean, to talk to you about it afterwards. We did a Zoom at the very beginning of the festival, linking all the shows which had any kind of queer connection, called Queer Connections. And what you said, I thought, was so potent about how this had come from such darkness in your life, but you have to see the beauty in it. And you really did. There's something incredibly touching about that. I think that is the whole power of the piece, really. I sort of want to ask, how do you see the beauty in it? But because I can tell you did, or maybe it comes after or something, I don't know.
Can I give a little answer to this?
Please do.
All right. I don't know, Phoenix can talk for herself, but compassion was the unlocking of it for me, and was the thing we talked about a lot. And I just thought, I think that's possibly the thing that makes this piece so spectacular, and the reason why all of us, I mean, I've known Phoenix for a long time, but the rest of us, that we bonded so fast, and we genuinely really, really enjoy each other's company. I think because this piece offers compassion for a vampire that is a sexual deviant, for a lipless mythological creature that feels sorry for themselves, for someone who died without resolving their long lost love situation. Like there's no creature that doesn't deserve compassion, and Persephone learns to love herself through the compassion she finds for these characters, and I think that's why it's so stunning. But I'll let you talk for yourself. Sorry.
That kind of said everything. Yeah, I think, yeah, absolutely. As Rowan very beautifully put it, it's all about the compassion, and it's all about kind of solidarity, I guess, because when you are in that kind of place as well, psychologically, the only thing you really need is to feel like there's someone there, and that there's people that will like love you and accept you, whatever. And yeah, and I actually can see a few people in this chat that have done that for me. So
oh yeah, you could feel it in the theatre as well. We're all incredibly grateful. Well, I'm looking at the clock ticking towards the witching hour. Love from Andy Mellor, love from Athanasia, Kontou, love from Elio. I'm going to stop trying to say the name. Oh, one more question, which you've got like one word answer virtually. Can you go through the characters from the show?
Yes, we can do it very quickly. I think Rowan covered nearly all of them. So there's Persephone. There's the lipless one that cries too much, that's like really kind of dysphoric about their body. There's the vampire that's like super like sexy and sexual, and is always wanting more, basically. And then there's
this lady, there's the sort of newsreader judgy lady.
Judgy lady, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some really scary angels that are very kind kind of objective. I think that's the one thing that's actually, in terms of the whole beauty and darkness thing, is objectivity can be quite harsh. You can think about that by yourself. And then there was the ghosts that died of their unrequited love, and Persephone. Yeah, that's kind of it.
What, Father, or do you mean, is that the list of performed characters?
That's the list of characters that are in the narrative.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as Robin says to everyone, that was really amazing. Thank you so much. I've got to shut you down because we've got to get ready for the next one. But thank you so much for an incredible thing. And I think we'll all be back for more.
I hope so. Thank you, Bill.
Really good.